If your vision board has pictures of Pilates, running, healthy eating, 2025 is the year that you want to rebrand your routine. Go from that girl to that woman energy, then hear me when I say that you can have it all, but you cannot do it all. This is exactly why we are kicking off a new series to rebrand your routine, help you work smarter, not harder, so you can strategically pick away at each puzzle piece and make your vision a reality. Over this 4-part series, each episode, we will do a deep dive on the science and experience-based tips that are going to transform your workouts, nutrition, and mindset as a whole. So we're going to address all of this and build a bridge between where you're at now and a routine that literally adds time and energy to your week so you have the bandwidth to go out and live life fully. Before we get started, a bit of context. So I am originally a weightlifting girly. I have been lifting weights for over 10 years now. I started weightlifting when I was studying engineering. I am a mechanical engineer turned trainer, and to make a long story short, I was lonely in first year engineering. I started weightlifting as an outlet. I went 0 to 100 real quick. I decided I wanted to compete in bodybuilding, which in hindsight just feels, so far removed from where I'm at now. But along the way, I've dabbled in different things. I've done weightlifting, running, Pilates, high rock style training. I had a baby. Pregnancy as an incredible physical feat. Gained weight, lost weight, figured out how to maintain my goal, dream body effortlessly. I have rebranded myself more times than I can count. Most recently, I rebranded my fitness app from the team plans to Anda. I will put our commercial on screen, but Anda is as simple as it sounds. And 2 words I've found myself saying more and more as I've continued this journey from weightlifting to running, pregnancy to Pilates to now doing a bit of everything. While the specifics have changed, this lifestyle has supported me through every stage. As time has gone on, I've felt more and more clear about my mission for this community, which is to help you work smarter, not harder, so you can step into all that you are. I am really proud of this rebrand. I'm really excited to start this next chapter together. Of course, throughout this series, we're going to talk more about workouts and training and all of that. But I do invite you to join me in the app if you'd like to start training together now. I will put all of that info in the description box down below. So I figured we'd start this series by talking about the mindset you need to really create a lasting change, which starts with stopping setting the unrealistic expectations and accepting your situation. I love scrolling social media as much as the next person. And when I think of the types of fitness content that appear in my feed, the ones that go viral, there's really only 2 types: the motivational and the aspirational. Motivational content is gritty, sweaty, digging deep, whereas the aspirational content is pretty romantic, effortless. You often see this distinction between gym culture and wellness culture, weightlifting and Pilates, but neither are fully rooted in reality. If you're always digging deep, you're going to run out of energy. But on the flip side, life is not effortless. If you want to accomplish big things, it's going to take work to build the habits, systems, and routines you need to support this way of living. One of my insecurities has always been looking like I'm trying, because what if I fail? That's embarrassing. But if someone judges you for trying to better yourself, say that out loud. When you're learning a new skill, you may have to work harder before you can work smarter. There will be trial and error. It's not all going to just magically come together. This is why I do not believe in balance. I believe in systems. You build systems one step at a time, because that way, once you master a step, you can let it run on autopilot. It doesn't take nearly as much effort to maintain, and you can shift that energy toward building the next. Like I said at the start, you can have it all, but you cannot do it all. That is why throughout this series, we are going to focus on breaking your vision down into smaller steps and building a foundation that will continue serving you through every stage of this journey. Which brings us to motivation. Motivation will get you started, but we know, okay, you and me know, motivation doesn't last. I don't know how many quotes I've seen about discipline over motivation, which I also don't agree with because it reinforces the belief that this has to be hard. And again, there's a time and place for hard work. But when you get so focused on this whole hustle mindset, be disciplined, it's easy to lose the forest for the trees and start to think that the end goal is struggle, to the point that when something feels easy, you assume you must be doing something wrong. In this series, our end goal is to learn and master different skills so that things eventually become easy and you can reallocate that energy to improving other things, learning other things, like living life fully. There's a quote I love, I'll put it on screen, but it goes, it's not about trying harder. Softness opens doors that force cannot move. And you can cringe all you want. I know past me, she would be cringing, okay, because she was a firm believer that it was just about willpower and working harder. And I don't know if that's because I was naive. I don't know if it was because I was coming from a place of insecurity and feeling like I needed to punish my body. But 6 years ago, I lost 20 pounds of stubborn fat. What you guys don't see on social media is that prior to losing that weight, I spent over a year quietly struggling, because I was embarrassed that I knew what to do and I just couldn't stick with it to lose the weight. And so basically, because I was in this mindset of, well, I need to suffer, I need to struggle, it's just about having more willpower, I thought to myself, okay, in order to lose weight, you need to be at a calorie deficit. Let's eat less calories and let's try to burn more calories via training. I was burning the candle at both ends. And so when I felt like I was running out of energy, when I felt like I was too sore in my body to train, I would feel more and more guilty. And rather than listening to my body, I would double down on what I was doing. I was constantly falling off track. I really struggled with consistency, but I was so stuck in my ways and stuck in the belief that I needed to struggle to make my goals a reality that I could not pull myself out of like this guilt-fueled spiral until I eventually burnt out. And the irony is, I guess I learned the lesson the hard way. I needed to burn out to have the realization and the epiphany. But when I lost most of the weight, and most of that weight loss happened in the span of about 4 months, I was working out less, a lot less disciplined with my nutrition, and just had really scaled back and relaxed my mindset around everything. So if it's not about motivation or discipline, then what is it about? Do you just need more information? Have you not found the right solution? Spoiler, everything works. Weightlifting works, Pilates works. You can walk, run, do 10,000 steps, 12, 3, 30, a stair climber, whatever is trendy, count calories, not count calories. Before you come at me in the comments of, well, you're not going to build muscle with Pilates like you would with weightlifting, we're going to address that over the course of this series. But this mindset of, I just haven't found the right answer. I just need more research. There are no right answers. This is a multiple choice quiz where you have to select the most correct response. And you get there through trial and error and putting yourself out there. I've spent years reading and sharing evidence-based fitness advice on this YouTube channel, and that did not save me from struggling on my own weight loss journey. I had all the information. I had all the tools. I knew what to do, but I just couldn't stick with it. At the time, I saw it as a shortcoming. It was embarrassing as someone who was supposed to be an authority, a professional in this space. I thought something was wrong with me. And if I just worked harder, if I just researched more and tried to find this needle in the haystack of evidence-based fitness, then surely I would find something that clicked for me. But the real mistake I made was overvaluing information and undervaluing intuition. Information is more accessible than ever, and we have been conditioned to look outward rather than inward for answers, to put our trust in an authority rather than listening to our own bodies, which again, time and place for many of these things, but especially as women in the fitness space, we know that women are underrepresented in most studies on supplements, on exercise, on nutrition. There is so much that we are still learning, and so you cannot dismiss your lived experience. If something is not working, that does not mean that you should double down and do more of it and try to force it. Rather, that is an opportunity to take a step back and consider a pivot. That is why I am double underlining application over information. We have lots of information, but it's all in how you apply it. So I hope you're feeling excited and like you now have the context you need to receive the maximum value from this series. Each episode will be deep diving into the science and experience backed tips you need to transform your workouts, nutrition, and mindset. I am so excited to start this next chapter together. This and a rebrand has been on my heart for over a year. It's been very difficult to keep it to myself. Before we go, I'd love if you left your own and a statement in the comments below. Pick a few labels that feel true to you, or maybe things that you're trying to lean more into. For example, I am a mother and a business owner and a trainer and a runner and a weightlifter and all these things. All right. It doesn't have to be super serious. It can be silly. It can be whatever you want it to be. But I would love to see who's showing up as part of the community. So thank you again for watching, and I can't wait to continue this series.